Today, we're going to be talking about how to not judge yourself. So, let's kind of talk about why the brain judges us. A lot of times, it actually tries to do it to protect you. So, for instance, let's say that you're going after your goal. Well, your brain doesn't actually want you to achieve your goal because it thinks it's unsafe. It's like, this is unknown. We don't know exactly what this is like. It could be dangerous. So, your brain's like, we don't want you to achieve your goal. So, what it can do is it can start to judge you so that you don't do it. Because if you're thinking you can't do it, you're not good enough, it's not possible for you, it's too hard, you're not going to be able to figure it out. If you're thinking those things, the chances of you taking that action to actually go do it are very slim. Another way that it actually does this is, let's say that you do something that you didn't want to do. So you're like, okay, I said something I didn't want to say. Well, oftentimes the brain will start to judge you because it's like, well, if we judge you and we create enough negative emotion, then maybe you won't do it again. And so what ends up happening is your brain thinks it's being really helpful and it thinks it's being really useful. But what actually happens is it actually isn't helping you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So the first way that you can actually stop your brain from doing this is by actually stopping it from doing that. So your brain's going to come and it's like, hey, just so you know, you shouldn't have done that and you should have done something different. And it's like, actually, we're not thinking about that. And the brain's going to come back and it's going to be like, you can't do this and you can't do that. And this is awful. And you shouldn't have said this. And it's like, nope, we're just not doing that. And then every time your brain comes and it offers you something, you just tell it, look, we're not doing that. We're not talking to ourselves in that way. And you just say that over and over and over as it continues to do it. Now, what you want to make sure is you're not getting into this debate with your brain. You're not arguing with your brain. You're not trying to prove your brain wrong. You're not trying to change its mind. You're just like, we're just not thinking about this right now. We're not going to talk to ourselves in this way. The second thing that I like to do is actually create safety. So a lot of times the brain is doing this because it's scared and it thinks that it needs to protect you. So I like to help create that safety around whatever it is it's afraid of. So it can be that simple. Like when the judgment comes up, we're not talking to ourselves in that way. What are you afraid of? And then see what comes up. And then once you get that answer, start comforting your brain in a way that has it feel safe so that you can keep going and it doesn't feel the need to continue to judge you. So let's say that you get the example of like, well, people are going to say mean things to me. Well, how can you create safety around that? Like, it's okay if someone says something to me. It's okay if someone leaves a negative comment on my post because in that moment, I'm not going to think I did something wrong. I'm going to be proud of myself for putting myself out there, knowing that sometimes that happens. And it doesn't necessarily mean that much about me as it does about them. And so just using these two things when your brain starts to judge you, like one, telling it we're not doing that, and two, creating safety around the thing that it's afraid of. I want you to imagine you are walking on a path, but you really don't want to get to the destination. What would you end up doing? You would take some wrong turns. You would turn around. Maybe you would stop walking completely. Maybe you would get lost. Maybe you would just get distracted by every single thing. This is what your brain is doing. Your brain doesn't want you to achieve your goals. And I'm going to explain why in the why you aren't taking action video. But I'm also going to show you how can you actually start taking more of the right actions so that you don't waste so much time, because I want you to think about it. If it's like a 5-minute walk and now we've gotten lost, we've turned around, we've stopped walking, this 5-minute walk could take forever. And so if it feels like you aren't making progress toward your goals, if it feels like you're not taking action, but you don't understand why, this is why you want to get this video, because it helps you take action so much faster and helps you actually get to that result you want so much faster too. So go to successbykayla.com to get instant access to the video.